why I'm Hey, my name is Charles Smith and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while, I'm sorry. But I've been talking, have y'all ever, that puberty setting in. No, I have to talk about this because I was just looking at old pictures of myself and then I seen a podcast about this and I'm like, I have to talk about this. I have to do a video about this. Like, I need to know if everybody's on the same page, which is like, have you ever looked at a picture of yourself from like a couple years ago? Like, let's say you're from like, let's say you're like 18, 19, and you look at a picture of like middle school and you thought you like looked so much older than you, like, let me just give you the scenario. I was looking at a picture of myself from like sixth grade, middle school, sixth grade, right? I was 11 years old. I was like 11 years old in the picture, and back then I thought I looked like I was like 15, 16. I'm like, I am a teenager, like I'm a fucking man. Like, then I look at I thought back then I looked so old. Like, I looked at a picture of myself when I was like 11, and I thought at that time and I remember coming into middle school and looking at everybody, like looking at the 8th graders in middle school and thinking they looked so fucking old. I thought they looked like actual like 16-year-olds. I'm like, damn, they like real teenagers. Like, we ain't even in elementary no more. I look back at them same pictures, I'm like, bitch, you look young as fuck. You look like a fucking infant. What is you talking about? I looked like I was 7. I thought I looked like 15. Them same 8th graders, I'm looking back at them pictures back then, they looked like they were fucking 10. What am I talking about? Like, what? Have you ever looked at a picture of yourself when you was like in middle school, when you thought you looked so old, and you look back at that bitch, you look so young as fuck. What the fuck? I looked like an infant, like literally like a fucking child. Like, what is you talking about? I thought I looked so old. Anybody else have ever done that before? Like, oh my god, like. Then I remember coming in, literally in 2020, where I started in school learning in 2020, October 2020, coming into high school. Then when I came into the high school, I remember looking at the seniors and I'm like, oh my god, they literally look like adults. Like, them seniors look like 2 years ago. The seniors at our school, like, oh my god, they're adults. Like, they're like 25. They look like so old. And I remember coming into high school thinking, oh my god, like, I look so old. Like, I look 18 and they look 25. And I look back 2 years ago when I first started this YouTube channel. When I was like exiting 8th grade year, I was in 8th grade and I thought I looked this so old. And I look back at them YouTube channel, I'm like, oh my god, but you look like a 10-year-old. What the fuck? And then I look back at them saying, well, I ain't gonna lie, and I came into high school looking at 11th graders and I'm like, they look so old. Now I'm in 11th grade and I'm like, I don't think I look as old as the upperclassmen did when I was a freshman. Like, I don't think I look that old. Maybe I'm gonna look back at this YouTube video, like, I don't think they look that old. Like, anybody else like did that, do that. I feel like at the current time, I feel like we feel like the oldest we have ever, because we are the oldest we have ever gotten. And like when you, like right now I'm 16 and I currently feel and think I look so old right now. I'm probably gonna look back at this video when I'm like 22, 23, and I'm gonna be like, you look like 12-year-old. I'm probably gonna be looking back at this and be like, I look like a fucking 12-year-old. And right now I feel like I'm fucking 18. Shit. I'm looking back at old Snapchats that, no, I'm glad I didn't post. I was like 11, 12 years old, thought I was 18, and I looked at like I was fucking 8. Like, what? Anybody else do that? Like, when you look back at old pictures and you think you looked so much older than you actually did, but then in the pictures you looked like an infant. Like, our time concept of age when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old was so much different than it is now. Like, I look back, like back then I looked at the age of, like, if somebody was like 50 years old, like if you tell me like, oh my god, like how old she is, she 50, I'm like, oh, they're a grandma. 50 years old, they're a fucking grandma. They got 3, 4 grandkids already, they're in retirement. They getting ready to retire. They 50 years old. That's what I thought a 50-year-old was. That was my perception of a 50-year-old back when I was like 8, 7 years old. Now I'm like, oh, 50 years old. Fuck, they're literally middle aged. They like an adult. They probably got kids of their own, raising kids probably at 50 years old. They probably still getting into it shit. Probably still dropping it low and shit at 50 years old. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, I look like back then, like what I thought was old is younger than that. And back then when I thought was like old is like, you know what I mean? Like old, what I thought was old back then because we were like so young was actually not that fucking old. Like I remember thinking people thought 30 was old when I was like 6, 7 years old. Like how old your mother is? 40? She old as fuck. Damn. Like now 40 is like damn, everybody 40 is fucking young as hell still. Like you just getting into middle age. Like you barely, like, you know what I mean? You just get like, you know what I mean? Like who else does that? And then back then if you told me that someone was like 70 years old, I'm like, oh my god, are they still alive? I'm just playing. That's not funny, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like the perception of age is fucking so different when we was young. Like that's just I just have to talk about that because like I'll be looking at so many old pictures, like class pictures. I thought everybody looked so old when we got into fucking like middle school. Then I look back, bitch, we looked at 7 years old. This really what made me want to make this video, cause some of the people from our middle school had to come like visit the high school like a couple months, like maybe a month or two ago, and I'm like, those are middle schoolers. Did we look like that in middle school? We was all saying that. I'm like, did we look like that in middle school? They looked at like literal infants, like toddlers. I'm like, they like 7th graders, 8th graders. What the fuck? They look like fucking toddlers. I'm like, did I look like that in middle school? And I thought I looked so old. Then I look back at the pictures and like, bitch, I looked so young. I thought I was the shit, and was literally looked like I was 10. I'm like, those are middle schoolers. They look like these, like, what? Then I look like some of the freshmen that's coming in to fucking high school. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, some of them freshmen at our school do look old, but a majority of them, I'm like, damn, they look young. You know what I mean? Young as hell. Like, very young. That's why I don't understand, like, I'm trying to get a little controversial. That's why I don't understand, like, a senior going out with a freshman. See, that, I ain't, you know what I mean? Do that what you want. But I look at some of them freshmen that's coming in our school, I'm like, damn, they look hella young. Did I look like that as a freshman? Then I look at the pictures in 2020, I'm like, I thought I looked so much older. The fuck? That's why I don't understand some of them seniors that be trying to hit on some of them freshmen. I be like, that kind of weirds me out because they look like so young. Like I'm 11th grader. I would kind of find it somewhat off-putting if I like go with a girl who's a freshman. See, I'm getting into a whole nother controversial topic. I don't, you know what I mean? If parents agree with it, that's on you. I'm just saying that's my, you know, opinion, you know what I mean? Because like some of them freshmen, I'm like, damn, like they look like they should still be in fucking middle school. Okay, but then I'm like, I look back at the pictures, I'm like, did we look like that? We looked like that when we were freshmen, and I look back at the picture, I'm like, damn, we did. Fuck, I thought I looked. They probably feel so old though. I bet you they probably feel so fucking old. The middle schoolers, they feel old as fuck. Them 6th graders, they feel old as fuck right now. Look like they're 6. Look like they're in the 2nd grade, but they feel old as fuck. I feel old as fuck. I'm probably gonna be looking back at this video when I'm like fucking 25, be like, you look young as hell. You look like you should still be in middle school. I'm probably gonna be telling that to myself, like I'm not even playing. Like, what's wrong with me? Some of the seniors at our school, I'm like, because they're only a grade ahead of us, and they've only been a grade ahead of us, you know, my entire existence. Like I went to middle school with the seniors that are high school, and I'm like, they don't look like seniors. Like they don't look like the seniors that I came into high school with on my freshman year. Like they don't look like all them seniors looked like they were 25 years old, fucking full face of hair, like literally, like really, like, and like the seniors that like now, I'm like, they don't look like that, and we don't look like the 11th graders that I came in my freshman year. Like they looked like they were like 18, and the seniors looked like they were 25. And now I'm like, when I'm gonna have my glow up? I've been waiting, and I just when I'm gonna have it, you know, the fuck, when I'm gonna have my glow up. I've been waiting. I still look like, you know, still waiting on that, you know. I don't look like I'm like, you know what I mean. But I feel old. But I'm like, I'm gonna look back at this, and I don't like the seniors. They don't look like the seniors that I came into high school like with. You know what I'm talking about? They look like. Some of them seniors look like they should still be a sophomore, and like I'm not even playing. You know what I'm saying? The perception of time as we age, and the perception of age as we age changes so drastically. As we like, it's so fucking crazy. Like back then, back then we thought we looked so much older than what we actually did, and I think I looked so much older than what I actually did. But like, as an 11th grader, I ain't gonna lie, I still feel like I look like a freshman. Like, I still feel like I should be a freshman in high school. Like, that's what I imagine a freshman in high school to be when I was like 6th grade. Like, a freshman in high school, I would imagine it to look like this. An 11th grader in high school, I imagine it to look like literally like an 18, 19-year-old. A senior, that's an adult. A whole adult. You know what I mean? Like, crazy. Like, is it just me? You know what I mean? It can't be just me. Like, they had a podcast about it. Like, fuck, what the fuck I'm talking about? Let me know your thoughts on this topic in the comments below. Like, I really want to like share them out. Like, especially for my people in high school. Like high school people. Like, looking back, high school, college people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, looking back at the like older pictures from like when they was in middle school. You know what I mean? Look back at them pictures, or even if you like 20, 21, 22, 23 years old, looking back at pictures of you from high school and you thought you looked so much older than you did and you really don't. Leave them comments down below. Like, I just want to know everybody's opinion on that. Because I was looking back, like I had the same Snapchat account since 6th grade, a hot middle school, and I didn't change it yet. And I'm looking back at some of them pictures, like some videos I took from 7th grade, and I thought I looked so old. Like 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, I thought I looked so old in there. Like, I look so old in there. I look back, you look like, I look like I was 8. What the fuck? Don't remember everybody looking like that. I thought everybody looked, and I'm looking back at classmates, and I thought they looked so old. They looked like they was 8. What the fuck? Like, I don't remember them looking that young. Crazy. That's just about it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and please comment down your thoughts, because I really want to hear this. Like, I really want to like hear this. Like, I was just like on a tangent about this in my head one night at 3 o'clock in the morning. One of them 3 a.m. shower thoughts. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, that's just about it for this video. Love you guys and have a great day. I can't wait for Thanksgiving. It's the holidays. Like, I love this time of year. That's just about it for this video. Love you guys and have a great day, night, whatever time you're watching the video. I'll see you next time.